Hey, we back. I'm here, I'm talking about my day, and I'm talking about what roles you should do. What type of roles? We've got a lot of different types. We've got WA, we've got HA, WG, etc. In fact, there's more even than I will be going over today, because there's a lot of random ones that are pretty irrelevant nowadays, like MB. Like, who's ever going to do MB? If you want information about it, feel free to ask in the comments or something. There is a lot of different situations in which you want to do different roles. So what should you do when? Well, to get straight to the point, when you start off on a server, what you want to be doing is WA. WA is basically the best types of roles at the start of a server. When nothing's been claimed, you probably want to do WA, and that is because of the top rankings list. We have a look on here. Basically everything on here is female. Whether you're happy with that or not, it's true. They're all female, they're all from animes, so if you want to roll this stuff, you want to go for WA. And if you're using this bot, the chances are you want at least some of this stuff, because that's the whole point. That's why they're high ranked, because lots of people want it. So you probably want to do WA to get these. But even if you actually want a different character more than these, it's probably still best to do WA, because if you roll one of these and you claim them, then you can trade. So let's say you want some random lower ranked character. I mean, take Ai here. I'm sure a lot of people want her. She's pretty high ranked now. Let's say you want her and you don't want one of these high ranked. Now of course she's WA anyway, so perhaps it's a bad example, but let's just go with it for now. Let's say you want her instead. What you could do is aim to get her. Or what you could also do is aim to get, 0-2, and then when someone claims her, you can trade. Either way, you get A, so it doesn't matter. But this way, you get loads of other characters as well that are high ranked, potentially. And you also have a possibility to trade for maybe 0-2 against I and another character. So now you get a free character in the mix as well. Now, let's suppose instead of I, what you wanted is some low-ranked male game character. Of course, it's impossible to get them rolling WA, but the same rules apply. If you get a high-ranked character, you can trade. So either way, at the start of a server, you want to be going for these characters. Whether you want them or you want someone else, it's probably best to go for these characters. Putting aside the whole trading aspect, you've also got Kakura, because if we look at top K, in fact, it'll show you how much Kakura they're worth. They're worth quite a lot. Now, at the start of a server, they won't be worth quite this much, but they're still worth a pretty reasonable amount, and certainly a lot more than your average male game character. And by claiming them, you'll get more badges, and once you've got all of your badges, then getting characters is going to become a lot easier. So again, you probably want to go for high ranks. However, that is not always true, because of course, for example, on this server, all this stuff has already been claimed. You can't claim them again, there's no point. So at this point, is there any point rolling WA? Well, maybe not. Let's take a slightly less developed server as an example. Let's say I look at Topu here. Right, this will show all the unclaimed characters. As you can see, at the moment on here, we still have most of these characters are female. We're starting to get a few male characters popping in here and there, but most of them are female, so you still probably want to be rolling WA. But you can see how if everyone on a server is rolling WA, eventually all these high-ranked female characters are going to get claimed. And what's going to be left is the high-ranked male characters. So there is a point where you want to switch over to HA and start claiming those male characters. Now, the exact point that you swap is all dependent on you. Do you want the male characters more, perhaps? Or do you think that you might have a better chance of getting them if no one else is rolling it? Or if maybe some people are rolling it and you still want to concentrate on WA? Obviously, your wish list depends a lot as well. At the moment I need to sort out my wish list, but that's always true. I've kept all of my wishes female, just because I know that I'm rolling WA. One thing that you probably will want to do if you're going to switch over to HA is to change up your wish list to wish for male characters. One thing that personally I do to make it a little bit easier is roll MA, because then I can get the male and the female ones. That's not necessarily as smart, because obviously my exact chance of getting a certain character is suddenly a lot lower, but my chance of getting a high-ranked character is the same, and it makes it a lot easier to sort my wish list. So personally, that's what I do. So yeah, once the female characters at the top start being claimed, you might want to switch over to HA or MA. But once again, you are probably not the only person on the server that have thought of this. And what say you if suddenly we get a month into reset and everyone on the server is rolling HA? Well, now you still are probably not going to get the high rank male characters because everyone else is now going for them. Maybe you want to roll WA anyway, keep going with it. And then you can get the medium ranked female ones, maybe between 100 and 150 or something, if these ones are still available and now everyone else is rolling HA. You know, again, it depends on the server, what other people are rolling and what's left, and what you want. But once again, there's more to it than that. Because if you get super late into a reset, you will actually find that all of the anime characters get claimed. In the same sense that we had all the females ones being claimed earlier, you'll have loads of game characters at the top, especially with things like Genshin Impact becoming really popular at the moment. Game characters are on the rise. And we can have a look at top game characters, see what's available. I should probably as well G- here to get just the game. Now, that's not the one I want. I want G equals. Sorry, brain. Here we go. This is characters that you can only roll with G. Right. Now, as you can see, they are not high ranked. Not by a long shot. In fact, a lot of them have been going down. Example 2B, she used to be like 100th or something. She's now 300th, you know. And she's not the only one. A lot of these characters are going down. But once again, with Genshin Impact being popular, some of them are going up, you know. So there is still some good game characters out there, and if you get super late into a server where this is the highest ranked stuff, now suddenly you want to be rolling game. But again, we've got a dilemma. Do you then start rolling game, or do you start rolling both? Again, this is down to personal preference, and personally I start rolling both, but a lot of people will start rolling game. It depends if you want the game characters, or if you want the high ranks, or if you just want what everyone else wants, or alternatively want what everyone else doesn't want. All of the above are perfectly valid strategies depending on the server. So in short, it all depends. But yes, you probably want to be rolling whatever is the highest ranked stuff. However, as I said, you need to take your wish list into consideration here. Like I said, all my wishes here are female, so I'm going to be rolling WA. If you want to change what you're rolling, you probably want to change up your wish list. But you can do it the other way around as well. If you make your wish list first of all the characters that you want, then just have a look at here. Are the characters that I want male, or are they female? And then you start rolling for H, or W, or M, or whatever. And then there's game as well. So all of that's included in there. There's also another thing to consider when it comes to things like key servers. For example, on the key server here, I roll WA. If we look at Topu, you will quite obviously spot that all of these characters are male characters. If I wanted to claim the high ranks, I really should be rolling HA, but I roll WA anyway, because I don't care about claiming the characters. It's a keys server. What I care about is getting keys, and when it comes to the claims of characters, I have quite a few waifus. Let me see, does it say, here we go, there's like 2,000, 2,500 even, of characters claimed, and they're basically all waifus. So by rolling WA, I'm going to get a lot of keys. If I start rolling HA, I won't get any keys, and if I start rolling WG, I'll get basically no keys, although I will get some, because of course some characters are from both anime and game, right? Another thing to consider is that you can roll both at once. Say if I just roll W, right, now I can get the anime characters and I can get the game characters, all in one. That's another thing to do, but I will also get less keys, because most of my claims are in anime, not in game. Although you can see there's some claims in game, so I will get some keys at least. You get the point. Alternatively, on this key server, we have the opposite. So if I look in here, we've barely got any waifus claimed, but the husbandos, well look at that, 2,000 of them, over that. So here I roll HA. when it comes to key servers, you want to make sure that you're only rolling one type of roles, a very specific type of roles. If you make a key server and you roll M, you know, that's both genders and both types of characters, you are not going to get many keys, because there's just too many characters there. If you're going for a key server, you want to make sure you've got a good disable list, you want to make sure that you've got a lot of roles, and most importantly, you want to make sure that you're rolling a good type of roles. Because if you're rolling M, you won't get anything. If you're rolling WA, HA, whatever, like even if you're rolling HG, you'll still get the same number of keys, because HG is specific. You don't have to get high ranked characters to get keys. You just need to have all characters of the same type. In fact, if you roll HG, you'll get more keys than you will rolling WA, because look, WA here we have 23,000 total characters. HG we've only got 13,000. So if you roll HG, you will actually get more keys than if you roll WA. But of course, there will be keys on HG characters. Is that what you want? Not necessarily. Personally, I want a lot of characters to have keys, but my priorities is WA and HA, which is why I have servers for WA and HA. I don't have a game server, so I don't have game characters on my soul list, you know? If I look up soul list G equals, there's basically no one. Now there are actually some people on here. They're all from Azur Lane. Oh no, except for Luigi. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure how I've got them. Perhaps it's likely that they were changed. Maybe they used to be anime characters and now the game. But you see there's not many here. In comparison with my entire soul list of 91 pages, it really kind of pales in comparison, you know? But if you decide to set up a server for HG roles, then you will get actually more keys than this, you know? And then this will be a much longer list, you see? So it all depends. That's also worth noting as well, that even in a big public server, you'll get more keys if you roll HG. On this Cyrex server here, if we have a look at the highest ranked, that's the wrong leaderboard, highest ranked keys, that's not the right leaderboard either. Sorry. There we go, TSY, that's the one I want. You can see there's a lot of game characters here. Now, I've slowly been overtaking, but even now, there's Kantai characters at 10. And if you go down a bit, you'll see there's a lot of game characters here, right? A lot from Kantai. And this is because, way back when the server was pretty new, when keys were first introduced, one of the most active players was rolling WG. And he was claiming all these Kantai characters and other game characters, and not the other stuff. He was the highest ranked on all of the keys because that's all he rolled, and so he would get double the keys that anyone else did, even with the same number of rolls, simply because his pool of characters was a lot smaller. So it's pretty good. Now, like I say, it's not so much like that anymore because he hasn't been active in a while, but you can still see evidence of it in the top few pages. There's a lot of Kantai characters up here, right? And so the point is, it works in public servers as well. If you want to roll WG or HG, you'll get more keys than everyone else. But you won't have the ranks, you won't have the trades, you won't have the Kakura either. And Kakura is, of course, the most useful thing that you could get. But anyway, I think I've talked about that now. I think I've finished with everything that I was going to say. So I will leave this video here and expect everyone to go and get loads of good characters, loads of keys, all the things that you want, because, you know, yay, the types of roles matter. Ooh, they actually do matter a lot more than people think. But yeah, anyway, bye.